The footnote should not be defining the chapter. What's our vision for transformational HR for creating meaningful change? Let's move beyond standard corporate pleasantries and routine compliance based administrative tasks and checklists. Not that they are not important, but the app should not be running the operating system. Today's spam filters are deleting the inbox. We are here to spark a profound and positive shift in human resources, a true behavioral transformation. The core purpose of this change starts by asking every executive an honest question. What do we really need from HR? The answer doesn't just define a support department, it determines whether our organization will thrive and grow over the next decade. This presentation is grounded in the principles detailed in Digital People Organization Disruptive HR by Dr. Ganesh Shermon of RiverForest Connections Inc. and formerly KPMG LLP. Our starting point is empowering true owners, not just administrators. The passenger should not be flying the plane. What does a transformational HR professional look like? We are moving past traditional administrators who are looking for proactive owners. We need passionate professionals who can take full accountability for their processes, policies, and the actual engagement of our workforce. Technical skill is just starting but a substantive point. What we truly need is a strong character to use those skills effectively. That would mean behaviors, distinctive and demonstrated behavioral competencies. We are indeed moving away from empty promises and leaders who only talk about theory or talk practice without a deeply rooted understanding of theory. We need credible people who turn ideas into real world action. Leaders who don't just point the way, but who inspire the entire company to move forward with them. This would necessitate breaking down silos to drive success. Cashier cannot be setting the prices, right? Transformational HR must become the lead architect of our future leadership. We do not want one-dimensional managers who need well-rounded leaders who are highly skilled, deeply respected, and naturally inspire the people they guide. HR can no longer work in isolation. We need professionals who partner directly with the business, breaking down departmental walls. Why? Because the true measure of HR success is a healthy, high-performing organization that drives real profitability and market growth. It is imperative for guiding the culture and anticipating the future. To make this happen, we need to lay the cornerstone. We need deep organizational insight. We need HR professionals to truly understand our workplace culture and have the dedication to improve it. They must guide teams with confidence, smoothly bringing together people, processes, and technology, a future of work values. HR must be our compass for inspiring change in the organization. Having a finger on the pulse, not survey based, but being in touch with people. Future proofing the organization is critical. They need to proactively anticipate new technologies, understand what motivates people, adapt to new rules, and respond to customer needs before they become crises. They must also be socially intelligent, able to connect with and support people across modern digital networks and platforms. Building the framework for tomorrow is but a basic step. It's time for planting the seeds for tomorrow's harvest. This vision is an organizational necessity. This transformation requires a clear, transparent, and strong framework designed for one main purpose: to find, develop, and empower great people. And we should not be making a mistake here. This doesn't happen by accident. This entire strategy is a thoughtful, proactive response to the massive changes shaping the future of work. We must build a structure to adapt and grow from within, or we risk being left behind by the market. Let's start with what we need to do going forward. Understand that HR true partnership is earned. beginning only when you demonstrate a fundamental understanding of the business dynamics you're supporting. Actively work to regain HR's dynamic seat at the table, which is the only way to possess the power necessary to influence genuine, positive organizational change. Recognize that being responsive to employee questions is a primary non-negotiable metric of HR effectiveness, not an afterthought to bureaucratic tasks. Resist the tendency to connect primarily with the boss, focusing instead on building authentic bridges between leadership and the workforce you're championing. Stop mistaking meaningless policies for strategic HR work. True partnership requires a reorientation of policies to solve real human problems. Challenge the myth that competitive compensation is irrelevant to high performers. It remains a fundamental requirement for recruiting and retaining top talent. Prioritize monitoring employee commitment to performance over zealously monitoring purely compliant bureaucratic completion of performance appraisals. Understand that internal growth and learning must be proactive. Regularly ask employees if they are ready for a second career to effectively drive their development needs. Treat engagement survey data as lag indicators, valuable feedback, but never confuse them with lead indicators of proactive, healthy, and organizational culture. Acknowledge that HR is not just a people management role. It's a crucial function dedicated to unlocking collective wisdom and organizational progress. Have the courage to stand up for people who genuinely stand up for people, even when that advocacy is met with leadership fear or organizational resistance. Address the stranglehold of service functions in your own department that constrain employee effectiveness rather than enabling it. Vigorously dispel the dangerous misconception that diversity metrics can serve as a mask or substitute for ethical people management practices. Combat falsehood manifested by leadership through pretentious policies and popularity-driven events by grounding HR initiatives in authentic operational truth. Challenge the simplistic notion that leadership behavior differ sharply within an organizational culture. Recognize that systemic behavioral patterns usually drive performance. Stop equating employee retention figures with a definitive measure of a leader's ability to drive genuine employee engagement. Good luck and thank you.